My name is Dave Yates and I build bicycles. I mean, essentially I do it my way. I'm self-taught. I started from absolute scratch. There was nothing available. No internet, no books. Tell a lie, there was one book, American publication by a chap who went under the name of Proteus. I think it was a pen name. Little bit of use, no photographs, all just line drawings. Interesting, helped, definitely helped. But basically I just applied the skills that I had in terms of engineering and metal joining to the problem of joining 11 tubes together to make a bicycle frame and forks. Made one, raced on it. The lads in the club said, "That's nice, make me one." So I just wanted to make them. So that's how it started, and I just kept on going. The rest, as they say, is history, 30 odd years on. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have approached it in a slightly different way, but probably would have done the same thing. I mean, I was in partnership with Jeff Dobson of Steel Cycles. We set up M Steel Lightweight Cycles Limited, and then Joe Woff joined us about 2 weeks later after we'd set the company up. And Joe brought his racing experience. I brought my engineering and sort of making things experience, and we blundered blindly on. And Joe's racing connections got us a fair bit of work. I would guess probably about 50% of the frames that the pros were riding we'd made, no matter what was on the frames. We're producing 15 frames a week. I had 3 very good builders who split the work into 3 sections, and these guys were spot on. They were really good, and their target was 15 frames a week. Old saying in the frame building world, it takes a good man a good day to build a good frame, and that's what we worked on, and it worked. And I built all the weird stuff, tandems and funny time trial bikes and these newfangled mountain bike things. I built my first mountain bike in 1983, and everybody laughed. They all said, "That'll never catch on." Like I said, if I'd known then what I know now, I'd probably be a millionaire. And then eventually, probably about 10 years ago, it started getting to the point where all the stuff from the Far East was coming in for 4pence, and we couldn't compete. People were buying aluminium frames. Aluminium is light. Wrong. But that was the perception. And our market just went down and down and down. And eventually we had to close the factory. And that's when I set up here, based on the premise that if I was only working on my own, with limited overheads, I could probably, still make a living at it, which has proved the case. And running the courses, I'm continually astonished by the popularity of the courses. I thought it might work for a bit. I don't think I've had anybody on the course that hasn't loved it and gone away at the end with a frame and with the mandatory big grin. Fascinating. I love it. There are a number of frame builders who build very good frames but haven't necessarily got a huge amount of experience of actually riding the things, and I think that brings a lot to the table. I think I know what it's like to sit on a bike for 28 hours straight off. I know what it's like to race at a reasonably high level, and I get a lot of people now saying they want a racing bike. Well, okay, what kind of racing are you going to do? And when I eventually drag it out of them, they're actually going to ride sportives, and there's a world of difference between doing that and having a number on your back and riding in the left-hand gutter and the right-hand gutter even, chewing lumps out of your stem, trying to stay on the wheel in front. It's a world of difference. Having said that, I think it's absolutely brilliant that these people want to ride sportives. More bums on saddles the better. Well, the Rapha bike it's a fast Audax bike. It's a classic racing bike with mudguard eyes on. Call it what you will. In its day, of, say, the mid-80s, it would have been a cutting-edge racing bike. Now it's a sportive bike, but light, not for touring, for fast day rides. I suppose that describes it. I built it out of Reynolds 631 and 725, which I consider to be ideal for that particular use setup. Others would build it out of different materials, but there are as many different ways of building frames as there are frame builders. And you present 3 different frame builders with the same problem, you'll get 3 different solutions, each one equally valid. What makes me tick is I have to make things. I have to create things, doesn't matter what. That's what makes me tick. I'm quite good at making bike frames. I've had a bit of practice and I just enjoy doing it. I love coming across here into the workshop and just making things. And if I didn't have to earn me living at it, I would still do that. I would still come across here and play with the machines and just make things. You know, my knives, the sticks. I just get a great deal of satisfaction out of doing that and doing it well. That's what makes me tick. So that's why I just love doing this. It's in there somewhere. You view what you do critically and think, is this adequate? Is it good? If it's good, fine, stick with it. If it's only adequate, then can we do this better? And I'm always learning. I can never say I know it all. I'm just me. I just do what I do. You know, I think there's a great deal of hype around these days. I just do what I do, and I'll keep on doing what I do. You know, fine. The things you do.